Are you considering a root canal? Or perhaps you've been told you need one and are terrified. Before you make any decision, you must watch this. The internet is filled with myths and fear-mongering, but the greatest danger might not be the procedure itself, but the consequences of delaying it. And the most shocking part, you may be doing something right now, thinking it's a healthy choice, that is actively destroying your tooth's nerve from the inside out. We are going to create the definitive guide to root canals. We will cover exactly what they are, why a dead tooth is a silent but serious threat. The 3 main reasons a tooth dies, including 1 that is shockingly common, and the simple prevention strategies that can help you avoid this entire situation. This is the crucial information you need before you see the specialist. What is a dead tooth, and why is it a time bomb? Before we talk about the procedure, we have to understand the problem. A root canal is a treatment for a dead tooth. Inside every healthy tooth, underneath the hard outer enamel and the softer middle layer called dentin, there is a hollow space. This space is filled with soft tissue called the pulp. The pulp is your tooth's living curate, contains the nerve, the blood vessels, and the cells that keep the tooth alive and responsive. When this pulp tissue dies, either from a sudden injury or a slow-building infection, it's called necrosis. The tooth is now dead. Here is the critical problem. A dead tooth does not mean the problem is over. In fact, it's just beginning. That hollow space inside your tooth, where the pulp used to be, is now an empty, unprotected chamber, and your mouth is full of bacteria. These bacteria find their way into this empty space. Inside that chamber, they are perfectly safe. Your toothbrush can't reach them, your immune system can't fight them effectively, and they have a food source, the leftover dead tissue, so they multiply. They create a massive, festering infection, building up pus and gases, but they are trapped inside a hard, sealed box of tooth. This is when the pressure begins. Like a volcano, that pressure has to go somewhere. It pushes down the tiny hole at the very bottom of the tooth's root and explodes into your jawbone. This is an abscess. An abscess is an incredibly painful, severe infection. The pain is often described as a throbbing, relentless pressure that gets worse when you lie down. This infection doesn't just stay in your jaw. It can spread to your sinuses, your face, and in rare, severe cases, into your bloodstream, which can have serious consequences for your heart and overall health. So, let's be clear. A root canal is not the problem. It is the solution to this problem. The procedure simply removes the dead infected tissue from inside the tooth, cleans and disinfects that internal chamber, and then seals it permanently to prevent bacteria from ever getting back in. It saves your natural tooth and, more importantly, it eliminates a dangerous pocket of infection from your body. The 2 main causes of a dead tooth. How does a tooth get to this point? It generally happens in one of 2 ways. 1. Obvious trauma, the accident. This is the most straightforward cause. You get in a car accident, you fall off a bicycle, you take an elbow to the face during a sports game. The physical impact is so severe that it either severs the blood supply at the tip of the root, starving the nerve, or it fractures the tooth so badly that the pulp is exposed to the outside world. In this case, the nerve dies very quickly. This is often not an infected situation, at least not at first. This is a traumatic injury. If you ever break a tooth, time is of the essence. You must see a dentist or, even better, an endodontist or root canal specialist immediately. In fact, modern dentistry is so advanced that for young patients, specialists can sometimes perform regenerative endodontic therapy, a procedure that uses your body's own stem cells to try and regrow a living pulp inside the tooth. But this is only possible if you act fast before infection sets in. 2. The slow killer infection from decay. This is, by far, the most common pathway. It doesn't happen overnight. It happens over months or even years. It starts as a simple, small cavity, Bacteria on your tooth's surface create acid, which dissolves a tiny hole in the enamel. You might not even feel it. But if that cavity is not treated, if you don't use the right strategies to stop it, or if you don't get a filling, those bacteria will continue their march. They travel through the softer dentin layer, and they eventually reach the pulp. Once the bacteria touch that living tissue, it's game over. The pulp becomes infected, inflamed, and will eventually die, leading to the same abscess we just discussed. This is why a dentist will always tell you it's urgent to fill a cavity. They are not trying to sell you a procedure. They are trying to prevent you from needing a much bigger, more expensive, and more serious one down the road. The hidden cause that puts millions at risk. Now we come to the third cause. This is the one that most people, and even some dentists, overlook. This is the aha moment for many people who are very diligent with their health, but still end up with dead teeth. The hidden cause of nerve death is often the replacement of old fillings. Let's paint a picture. In your 20s or 30s, you decide you don't like the look of those old, dark, silver amalgam fillings you got as a kid. You want a bright, white smile. So, you go to the dentist to have them upgraded to new, white, composite fillings. This seems like a simple, cosmetic, and healthy choice. What you don't realize is that this procedure is incredibly traumatic to your tooth. First, to remove the old silver filling, the dentist has to use a high-speed drill. This drill generates an immense amount of heat and vibration. Even with a constant spray of water, this heat can be enough to cook or fry the delicate nerve tissue inside the pulp, causing irreversible damage. Second, the new white fillings work completely differently than the old silver ones. Silver fillings were just packed into the hole. White fillings are bonded or glued to the tooth structure. This bonding process is a delicate, multi-step chemical procedure. It often involves etching the tooth with an acid, applying a bonding agent, and then packing in the composite material and curing it with a bright blue light. Those chemical bonding agents can be very irritating to the pulp. Furthermore, the light curing process can cause the filling material to shrink just a tiny, coroscopic amount, but enough to put pressure and stress on the tooth. Have you ever had a new white filling, and, for months afterward, you feel a sharp zing of pain every time you bite down? That is your nerves screaming. It's a sign that the pulp has been deeply irritated and inflamed. This irritation might calm down. Or, it might not. The nerve might fight for a few years, and then, one day, it just gives up and dies. Now, consider this. Data from national dental practitioner groups has shown that the average lifespan of one of these white, composite fillings is about 10 to 15 years. This means the filling you get at age 25 will likely need to be replaced by age 40, and then again by age 55. How many times can one tooth endure the trauma of being drilled out and refilled before the nerve dies? For most teeth, the limit is 2 or 3. This explains why so many people in their 40s, 50s, and 60s suddenly face a cascade of dental problems, a root canal here, a crown there. It's often the delayed result of fillings that were replaced over and over again. Myths versus reality. Debunking the fear. The fear around root canals is intense, and it's fueled by a lot of misinformation. Let's clear the air. Myth 1. I'll just use home remedies. Clove oil or garlic will kill the infection. Reality. Please, hear this clearly. Once a tooth's nerve is dead, nothing can bring it back to life. Clove oil might provide temporary pain relief because it has a numbing effect, but it is not reaching the source of the infection deep inside your tooth. You are not healing anything. You are just sitting on a ticking time bomb, allowing that infection to grow and spread. Myth 2. Root canals are dangerous and cause systemic disease. Reality. This myth comes almost entirely from debunked theories from the early 1900s, before we understood microbiology. This idea was revived by a popular online documentary that has been widely criticized by the endodontic and medical communities. Modern root canals are not the same as they were 50 or 20 or even 10 years ago. Today, a specialist endodontist performs the procedure using advanced microscopy, 3D combine imaging to see all the canals, and ultrasonic cleaning tools. The success rate for a modern root canal is extremely high. The real danger is leaving the untreated infection in your jaw. That is what has a proven link to systemic health problems. Myth 3. It's better to just pull the tooth and get an implant. Reality. An implant is a fantastic piece of technology, but it is a replacement for a missing tooth. A root canal saves your natural tooth. Pulling a tooth is a major surgical procedure, and no implant, no bridges as good as your own natural tooth root. It's always preferable to save your natural tooth if it's possible. The solution, the specialist and true prevention. So, what do you do? First, if you have a dead tooth, the solution is to see an endodontist. This is the most important advice in this entire video. An endodontist is a dentist who has several extra years of specialized training only in root canals. They do this all day, every day. They have the 3D scanners to find hidden extra canals in a molar. They have the high-powered microscopes to clean the chamber perfectly. Do not let a general dentist do this complex procedure unless it's a simple, single-rooted front tooth. Go to the specialist. Second, how do we avoid this entire mess? The goal is prevention. And the key to prevention is making your dental work, especially your fillings, last a lifetime. Remember, it's rarely the filling material itself that fails. It's the tooth around the filling that breaks down. White fillings are notorious plaque magnets. Plaque and bacteria love to stick to the margins where the filling meets the tooth, causing a new cavity to form right at the edge. This is what forces you to replace the filling, starting the death cycle we talked about. The only way to stop this is to change the environment of your mouth. You must disrupt the plaque. This is where a substance like xylitol becomes incredibly useful. Xylitol, taken as a mint or gum right after meals, doesn't kill bacteria. It simply starves the specific acid-producing bacteria like strep mutans that cause cavities. They can't metabolize it, so they can't multiply, and they can't produce acid. Over time, you fundamentally change the bacterial population in your mouth to a healthier, less aggressive one. Combine this with a daily routine that focuses on root realization. This means using fluoride or hydroxyapatite toothpastes and rinses that actively help your enamel stay strong, hard, and perfectly sealed against the edges of your fillings. Your final takeaway: a root canal is not the enemy. It is a sophisticated, necessary, and safe procedure to remove a dangerous infection and save your natural tooth. The real enemies are untreated decay, misinformation, and the repeated, avoidable trauma of replacing fillings. See a specialist and focus on a preventative strategy that makes your dental work last, so you never have to face this choice again. My question for you is, has this changed your perspective on root canals? Have you ever experienced that persistent sensitivity after getting a new filling? Share your story and your questions in the comments below.